Hey everybody. I had a calling to. I was being pulled to do a video, a testimony, and I would like to do that now for you. If you would like to hear it, this is available for you. Let me give a little backstory. Sorry. My father killed himself when I was very young, and one day he went to church on Sunday. He came home and then killed himself. And I have not had any trust in religious institutions for my entire life. I just didn't trust anybody. And as such, I went my life pretty much as a pagan. I was pretty much living as a self-proclaimed pagan. And although I studied, I started getting back into it in college. One day I was in my sociology class, and one of the projects was to go to a social function and study the people there, and you do a paper on it. But you couldn't tell anybody why you were there or anything like that. So So I went to I went to a church. I called them and I said, "Hey, you mind if I come down this weekend and just go to your church and see what it's like?" I can't remember the type of church it was. Anyway, I get there and they were extraordinarily happy to see me. They threw a very large-breasted woman at me, a single one, and I was quite taken with her. However, oh my God. So, anyway, I wrote the paper and everything, and I started thinking, okay, well, that wasn't so bad, I mean, granted, every church I go to is going to start throwing large-breasted women at me, but, anyway, sorry, back to the testimony. I met my wife. I was working in Texas at the time, much like I am now. However, I was working in Tyler, Texas. I had just broken up with a hooker that I was dating. And fuck my life. Okay. So, in my defense, she was hot. Anyway, so, I'm working in Tyler, Texas for Target. I was doing. I have a logistics company, one of the companies I run, and I got a dream. I had a dream one night. It was not a dream. It was a revelation. Okay, my life was chaotic, and It's just everything was just chaos. My world was swirling, swirling, swirling. And then all of a sudden, in gold letters and peace, everything went peaceful. My life went peaceful. Was the word Harlingen, which is a town in southeast Texas. And the desire, the pull for me to go there was absolutely incredible. So, I then went to my dispatcher and I told him, hey, look, I got this thing down here. If you don't mind, I'd like to go down there. He's like, yeah, sure. So about 2 weeks later, I'm cruising down towards that way. I ended up actually having I ended up going to Brownsville, but I stopped in Harlingen just to see what was going on. And it was at that point I was using the Tinder dating app. I was using a lot of different dating apps because, honestly, you never know. You never know where you're going to meet that person. So I was doing quite a few of them. But my Tinder app was set for like 25 miles, so I was just looking for people locally. And I had a deep desire for family. I was looking for someone who was loyal and that I could trust. And I get down there and I am looking at my people, my ladies that I'm going through, and I see this one that just completely leaves me breathless. And I messaged her, and I didn't hear anything back for like 2 days. I got back up to Tyler, where I was working, and I'm working in the Target yard there, and all of a sudden on my phone I get a response, and then God talked to me. He said, keep her safe. It was that point that I knew she was my ex-wife. This was an assignment. And I've always believed in God. I believe in Jesus Christ also. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. I believe in the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. Because of this next thing. When I met my wife, we dated for 2 years, and she was living in Mexico. She was exactly 25 miles away from Harlingen, and I was looking at 30 miles. So she just popped into, she was in Matamoros, Mexico, just across the border. And so it was decided, she was Mormon, so it was decided that I also would become Mormon. And I started going to church with her, and I loved it. Some churches you go to, they're great. The people are nice. I'm not saying all people aren't nice. I'm just not saying all people are good. All I'm saying is this church rang good for me. Mormon, Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints in Matamoros Technological District. Anyway, she I didn't speak a lick of English or a lick of Spanish, and she didn't speak a lick of English. So there were a lot of miscommunications, and she was just so patient with me. I learned Spanish over the next. Well, I'm still learning it. My vocabulary isn't all that great, but we're able to converse well. And anyway, as I was dating her and deciding whether or not I wanted to become a Mormon, one of the missionaries I was talking to challenged me. He said, "Ask God if this is what you should be doing. Well, just talk to him, ask him. See what happens." I said, okay. So, I asked God, and over the next week, and for those of you who drive truck, for those of you who work in logistics, church street names are not common at all. It's usually Peach, Oak, first numbered. It's usually that kind of stuff. I've been driving for a long time, and I might be able to count it on one hand how many times over a course of 20, 25 years, or it's not hadn't been that long, 10, 15 years. It was a church street or something like that, and for the very next week, I was picking up and delivering on Mormon boulevards. Every sign, there were signs just all over the place. Mormon this, Mormon that. If you ask God for a sign, you got to be prepared to see it. And I was, and it happened. So I joined the Mormon Church. I was ordained a priest with them, and I found a nice church in Wellsville, New York. Anyway, I'm here in San Antonio, where God has brought me. But honestly, throughout my entire life, I have been where I knew God needed me. My entire life. There were people that needed me where I was. I helped people along the way. And there were bad companies that really just needed to be burned to the ground. And he did that. God did that. But first I had worked there, and you see, when you are ready, when you are trying, when you begin walking the path of God on the narrow path, that rod of iron will keep you moving forward. But you have to be able to listen, and you have to be ready, because you will be tested, and you will also be used to test other people. And I can confidently say, any of the people that I've met in my life, we've been tested. The ones that see this, that have had bad things happen to them, they know exactly what I'm talking about. I worked at this one place. I worked at a children's home, and they were very bad. They treated the kids very poorly there. And I told my boss if I ever saw him treat a child like that again, I would drag him outside and beat him to death. He then walked away, brought over a piece of paper and a pen, said, "Write that down." I wrote it down, I gave it to him, and shoved that up your ass pipe. About 2 weeks later, I was fired. 2 weeks after that, they burnt to the ground. Not literally. They apparently were some people that worked there were stealing the kids' medications and selling them on the street. One of them got caught in a regular stop with a pill bottle from one of the kids at the facility, and they are no more. They are no longer trying to help kids, which I would say wholly that I don't think they helped anyone. They didn't have the frame of mind to help people. They had the frame of mind to keep people down, which brings me to today. There is a system in charge. First of all, I don't like to talk poorly about people. It's not why. So I'm only going to speak in generalizations for this. There are people who like to feel that they are kings and queens, and they move through their lives keeping the serfs at bay. That time is coming to an end. It is wholly because I stayed the course. God is one of the only people in my life that has been there for me. And God has been there since I was a baby. He's always been there for me, even when I was cursing him. Seriously cursing him. Every day I was cursing him when I was growing up, because when my father died, he died when I was young enough that when I reached certain stages of development and my mental capacity expanded, I had different questions all the time, every day, and that routinely led back to me cursing him. Then one day, I accepted responsibility for my actions, the actions of my father, and I haven't let it bother me since. I mean, of course, it still bothers me. Like I said, trauma never goes away. Never goes away. But you learn how to deal with it in a manner where you do not let it control you. You do not let it debilitate you. You can move through life and still have a sense of meaning, give a sense of happiness to yourself. But there are systems in place that would rather keep us down because we are easier to control when we do not have our faculties about us. I'm going to seal up this testimony with this. I told you in the first video, if you don't know, if you don't believe in God, I don't know that I can help you. Some industrious person may come along and be able to fashion this, what I'm teaching you, in a way where they can help someone else. If they want to do that, that's great. I got no problem with this. This is for the people. This is for people like me that grew up that didn't have $80,000 to go to a therapist constantly, twice a week, 3 times a week, however many times they go. This is to help everybody. This isn't here for them to shelve. This is here for people. I would like to also close with something. I didn't want to. My last video, it was poorly timed, but I had mentioned I'm writing a book, and I cut it out because it was just not. It wasn't. It just seemed ill-timed. Anyway, I'd like to put that out there. I am writing a book. I'm writing a series of books about a young boy, an Indian butler. It's a Western. His father killed himself, and I'm implementing many of these healing concepts within the series. I'm hoping it's going to be like a 10-book series, but I don't know. I gotta see if I have enough content for that. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. If you get it on Kindle or Kindle, it's free on Kindle, so you don't even have to pay for it. Or you can download it from our website for free. Also, the ebook is on there. Also, the audiobook I have on my channel here. It's called Chronicles of Iron Thunder Road. That's the first book in the series. This one is just straight pain. Much like the first book of my life. Anyway, sorry this video is going a little long. But to me, I couldn't have gotten here without God. Without the love He's shown me throughout my life. Throughout the chances. He's always giving you chances. Like Jesus says in the Bible, if someone betrays you 1,000 times, maybe they need 1,000 more chances. I feel like He's done that for me. I don't know if I could love someone that much. I try. I try to love everyone. Just trying actual vocalization of trying to love everyone really does make a difference. Take in your content responsibly on YouTube. Watch what your kids are watching. Take heart into what your kids are watching. Keep an eye on brainwashing. Don't let that happen. Be mindful. We're in a different fucking world now. Y'all have a nice day. Bye.